Okay, so that's the golden cross, and that is Bitcoin going up $2,000 from 46,000 to 48,000 just as the golden cross happened. That's exactly what we predicted. Today, I'm going to show you technicals, fundamentals, and I'm going to show you on-chain data that shows that we are in for one hell of a recovery on the crypto markets. I'm also then going to show you one indicator, which I think is the key indicator that we should all be looking at to look into this recovery. Now, it's crazy because I did think that September was going to be a month where there's going to be accumulation, and I did align with Plan B that we were going to close at 43,500. But today we're going to look at the indicators, and then you decide. Because I want to be conservative. I want to be, I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. I want to be conservative. But then I look at the data, and the data is telling me a different story. So let's work together. Let's get this done. Let's decide where we're going to put our money in this bull market. There's a lot to do the show. We've got limited time. So let's get this show going right now. Welcome back, guys. I'm Crypto Man Ran, and you are the Banter family. And together we are building the best crypto community in the world. We've been around for 9 months now. And in 9 months, we are, I could say, arguably in the top 5 crypto channels in the world. And that is only because of you guys, the Banter fam. And because our aim is to bring you live, credible, real-time, streaming crypto content. That's what we want to do. And the reason why we want to do that is because in the traditional world, in the traditional finance world, if you want credible live streaming market data, all you do is you go to CNBC and you go to Bloomberg and you get it right there. And within half an hour, you know exactly what's happening in the markets, no matter where you are in the world and no matter what the time is. But in crypto, that doesn't exist. You can go to Twitter, but Twitter is full of noise. You can go to Telegram, but if your Telegram looks anything like my Telegram, there's no way that you can get information out of it. So that's what Banter is going to do. It's going to bring you live, credible streaming, 24/7 content. We're also going to be bringing you masterclasses. Sheldon the Sniper is bringing you an unbelievable masterclass today, and that masterclass is all about the golden cross. So today we had a golden cross, and we're going to keep bringing you these masterclasses. Why? Because we want you to be the wealthiest, smartest crypto community in the world. That's our vision. Everyone must make life-changing money. Everyone must be crypto smart, and must build the biggest and tightest crypto family. So I do see you all in the comments. I see, wow, there's a lot of people here. Sumit Gupta, I see Crypto Back, I see Clyde, I see Raymond, I see you guys all around the world, and I'm going to see you all in Dubai. And I think we're actually going to fly a few of you into Dubai to meet us because we want to meet the fam. We want to go for dinner with the fam, and we're willing to fly people all around the world to come and join us. So if you're new to our channel, welcome to the best crypto channel in the world, hands down. It's not only because you get the best crypto information, but it's because we're a family here and we look after one another. So welcome. All I'm asking you to do is subscribe to our channel, because that's how, and hit the notification button. That is how you're going to know when you're going live. And I need you to do me a huge favor today. So YouTube is broken. I don't know if you noticed, but there was no tile app today which showed you what's on the show. So I need your help. I need you guys to smash the like button, because that's the only way that we're going to communicate what's on the show and that it's actually good content. Because we don't actually have that tile anymore. That's the problem. So need your help. And we do have a big show today, because we were going to do one show. We were going to get the founder of Avalanche on the show, and we are still going to do that, but just not today, because I noticed that the technicals, the fundamentals, and the on-chain metrics all painted one story today. And that story means that we're going in for a big recovery. And if that's true, we need to track where the money's going early so that we can catch on to the trends early. That's what we want. So that's what the show is going to be about today. It's going to be a massive show. I think let's start the show by looking at the Golden Cross and what the Golden Cross actually means. And for that, what are you doing?
That Golden Cross has happened, but I'm looking for Christmas presents.
Let's go planning ahead. Okay. So you told me before the show a few things happened. The first thing is we had the Golden Cross. The second thing is that Bitcoin broke the trend. And
short-term trend.
Okay, show me the short-term trend, and then show me the Golden Cross, and then show me why this Golden Cross is such an important indicator.
Okay, amazing, buddy. So obviously there was the trend, there we broke out, and now we're finally starting to make our way. So remember that when we got big acceleration on the one side, we don't really have much resistance here. A lot of this area over here is a resistance. So as soon as we start breaking through, and that's why we got the wick the other day, we got rejected. And as soon as we shoot through, we usually get a very quick acceleration to the area. So I'm still expecting us in the next day or two to get to that 50K, 51K region, and then we'll see from there. Now, that's obviously short time frame wise. And I wanted to show you guys here looking at the bigger picture with Bitcoin and why it is so important. So you can see, say again. No, they just don't have all of these features for this chart, Ren, but the rest I'll do there, I promise you. You can see how busy I've been with this chart. And what I basically did was, we've had 4 times before this. This is the 5th time we've had a Golden Cross since 2015. Okay, October 2015. So for the last 6 years, we've only had 4 Golden Crosses, and this is the 5th one. And we've had 3 to 4 successful ones where once we had the cross, the first one we ever had was 2015 October. Bitcoin then did 4,800%. Obviously, Bitcoin was a lot cheaper then and those things, so the range was a lot bigger, but it had a good run.
How long did it take from the time the Golden Cross till the time Bitcoin did 4,600%?
It took 700 so nearly 3 years, right? Well, basically 2.5 years. So what the purpose of the Golden Cross is the longer views. Let me just get rid of these over here. It's a very long time frame indicator. It's not one it's just showing you the fact that we've only had 4 in the last 6 years. And you could see that it shows you that for the good next few months or the next call it next few months or so, it usually indicates we're going to have a good few months, year or two, anything like that. So you can see the first one was 791 days. We then had the second one, which was 2019. That was a bit shorter, but that was still 210% growth from Bitcoin in 77 days. Now, that's what we usually call the blow off tops, the very quick move. And then we had one that failed. Okay, that was the March drop. So that was world news. That was, we finally got the Golden Cross. World news hit. We then had the COVID thing, and it obviously collapsed all markets. So that was the only one that collapsed. And then we had the last one, which was on the 18th of May last year. And we had the run, which was 329 days, which was basically a year. Bitcoin did 700%. So what it mainly means for us is, go for it.
When you look at a Golden Cross, are you saying that once you have the Golden Cross, there's no death cross after that? So you have the Golden Cross, and then you don't have a death cross after that for, in one case, 700 days, in another case, 190 days. And I mean, is that what you're saying?
So what I'm saying is we usually have a run first. And then at a later stage, there can be a cross, but a run first, which means, we've only just got into the area now. We've started off. And I do have something that's quite interesting here as well. And this is with the USDT dominance. And I was having a look on the daily as well. And the last time, let me just get the 200-day. Now, remember, this works the opposite way, guys, because it's the USDT. The main thing is I'm still using the cross of death and the Golden Cross scenario. Okay, but we are at a point where the USDT has just crossed, the 50 MA has just crossed the 200. Okay, so this is in reverse, but the last time that this happened, Bitcoin was 23K. So now we've just gotten the Golden Cross on Bitcoin, which is a very long-term indicator. And then we've also got the USDT now crossing on this, and Bitcoin's at 47.
Wow. So you've got two things, two indicators, and they're opposite indicators. The one is the golden cross tells you that the market's going to be positive, and then you got the USDT dominance. So the stable coin, or the biggest stable coin dominance, which is the USDT, now breaking a death cross, so to speak, right? So
exactly. So the last time was this area here. So the last time, that was when we had the USDT cross. That was where Bitcoin was. And look what came after that. And we could see after the last two previous crosses, this is what came after the previous cross. So it just shows you it's not an indicator that happens often, guys. It's not one that happens often. And the main thing what I love now is we finally crossed. And as long as Bitcoin holds 200-day moving average and holds these levels, because this could have been the first leg of something huge. So it's really, really good data we got here.
That is incredible. So incredible that we got the golden cross and the USDT dominance cross happening at the same time, almost showing that the USDT dominance is going to continue to decrease. And theoretically, if the technicals are right, then the momentum is down for the USDT and up for Bitcoin.
Exactly. It means explosion coming for the market. That's just off previous history.
Shaldino, you are making a video later about the death cross. You'll post it on the channel, right?
On the stuff, yes. The golden cross. Golden cross.
Amazing. All right, so I'm going to put you in the waiting room. We may come back to you in a sec. I'm going to show you the fundamentals that are driving it. So we now know the technicals are driving it pretty well. Before I go into the fundamentals, I do want to make some people happy. Mr. Kel, if you have a Bybit account, you get 1,000 BitDAO tokens into your account. If you have a Bybit account with the Crypto Banter referral link. Apparently we have to change that. Okay, from tomorrow we'll change that. Karen Gorania, you also, if you have a Bybit account with the Crypto Banter referral link, and it was open before I called you, you get yourself 1,000 BitDAO tokens. That's $1,500 as at right now. Also, please smash that like button, because I see the viewers aren't coming in because the tiles are broken. YouTube's broken today. All right, now let's talk about it. So we have the technicals. We have two amazing indicators in the technicals. I didn't know that the technicals were so good today. I didn't realize that we had the golden cross on the one side and the death cross showing that USDT dominance is all going to break down. What I did know, though, was that there were technicals and there were fundamentals and there were on-chain metrics. And that's what I want to show you guys. Technicals, two big green ticks. Then we look at the on-chain data. And the on-chain data is telling us a story. The first story that the on-chain data, again, comes from Will Clemente. And he says, this is a bull market. End of 2017, coins were moving from illiquid to liquid entities. Now coins moving from liquid to illiquid entities. So in other words, what he's saying is that people who do not sell illiquid entities, hodlers, are now starting to accumulate coins. At the end of 2017, hodlers were dumping their coins to non-hodlers. And you can kind of see that clearly in the chart. As the price goes up, this is the supply shock. As the price went up, the hodlers kept increasing. When the hodlers started to sell, you can see it always happens before. When the hodlers started to sell, the price started to go down, all the way until the hodlers started to buy again. Now, if we look at the chart, we see two things. One is that the hodlers are still accumulating, but two is we see that this period is very, very, very similar to July, August, September 2017. And you can see that the hodler accumulation is exactly the same as July, August 2017. And at the risk of boring you guys, because I did show you guys this yesterday, and I showed you guys this the day before, and I showed you guys this the day before, I'm going to show it to you guys again, because there are some new people here. I know this because they smashed the like button, the subscribe button. But what you can see is you can see that in July, September, so July, August, September, October, see the market goes down. And you can see here, if you look at July, the market goes down, 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 and then starts to wake up somewhere around September, October, which is exactly where we are today. And it's happening again now, which again, to me, affirms this thing that we've been talking about, that we are about to see this. We're about to see this parabolic run. I may be wrong. We may all be wrong. But the data keeps reaffirming this. And believe me, what I'm trying to do these days is I'm trying to find data to unjustify what I'm thinking. Because I'm almost saying to myself, okay, everything is pointing in one direction. I need to find data that's pointing to the other direction. And I can't find the data. So if you do have data, please send it to me. I want to see the negative data. So That is Will Clemente. Let's look at what Plan B is saying. Also, very, very, very interesting. Plan B, remember Plan B stock to flow model looks at the supply of Bitcoin. It's a stock to flow model. It looks at the supply that is available versus the supply that is being released. And the stock to flow model essentially works around the halving events on Bitcoin. Now, the halving events, for those of you who don't know, is when the mining rewards are halved, and therefore the number of Bitcoin that are introduced into the market by the Bitcoin algorithm is actually reduced. And he takes the lines from each halving. And what you can see is after each halving, the price of Bitcoin continues to increase. It increases quite fast in the beginning. Then it drops, and then it starts to increase again. And he looks at the first halving, which was 2012 to 2016, and that's this light blue line over here. Then he looks at the second halving, which is the dark blue line. That's the halving from July 2016 to May 2020, because a halving happens every 4 years. Goes up, down, and then up. And what he does is he takes the green lines, which is the stock to flow target or the average. Now we can see two things. The first thing is that we can see that the pattern that the red line is forming, which is the current stock to flow model, the current depiction, is very similar to all the other depictions. It goes up, it takes a dip. So look, goes up, takes a dip, goes up again. Goes up, takes a dip, goes up again. Goes up, takes a dip, goes up again. And it should end somewhere on the green line, which is the average. What Plan B is saying, though, he says, although I focus on averages, which is the green lines, and have no model for how high the top is, I expect the top to be in the yellow area. Okay, we'll look at that in a second. Relatively later than 2013 and 2017 tops, which means we're going to have a lengthening cycle above the 2017 top. So this cycle will actually be different. So what he's saying is that we can extrapolate that this line will continue to go up and should reach a top somewhere here. I mean, depends on the rate, but let's say somewhere here. And then go down and then go up again. And he says, I expect the top to be in somewhere in the yellow area. But what is this yellow area? Well, the yellow area, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900,000, $1 million. What he's saying is that the top is going to be somewhere here in the yellow area, which is close to $1 million. It can't even get up to $1 million. So he's saying we're going to have a longer cycle with a much higher top, which is, again, he hasn't been wrong up until now. And yeah, we do trust the stock to flow model. At the same time, we can see that the cycle is, the long-term hodlers are accumulating like they should be accumulating. And for as long as long-term hodlers are accumulating, we shouldn't see a sell-off. We see that the big banks are starting to realize this. So Morgan Stanley came out today, and what Morgan Stanley have said is that they're actually going to get a dedicated crypto research team. So they did come out in the past, and they said in the past that they're going to start offering crypto to their clients. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was in April, Freddie, right? Correct. So in April, they said they're going to start offering it to their clients. And then they said the launch of a dedicated crypto research team is in recognition of growing significance of cryptocurrencies and other digital assets in global markets. So the big banks around the world are now seeing that this is a real thing. This is a big thing. We can't ignore this. This is really the way forward. All right, some more on-chain metrics. Let's look at some more on-chain metrics. This is quite a cool one. So it is by a guy called Positive Crypto. I want to show this to you. Okay, Positive Crypto, what does he say? He says, bullish signal, active address sentiment indicator, monthly rolling price change now back below rolling active address change. What he means is that the number of active addresses is growing so quickly that it's catching up with price growth. And you can see it over here. The lines are very faint. I can't make them bigger, unfortunately. But what you can see is that we are getting new accounts signing up, even though there is no growth in price. That means that new entrants are coming into the market, realizing the value of Bitcoin, and actually sitting here to buy the dip. It means that Bitcoin is getting mass adoption. It means that people are saying, next time that Bitcoin takes a dip, I'm going to be there. And when Bitcoin is taking a dip, they actually are buying. So it means that sentiment is positive. And we know with crypto, sentiment changes extremely quickly. Yesterday, the fear and greed index, let's actually quickly look at the fear and greed index, because yesterday it was at 30, and today the fear and greed index is, I think, at 50 or 40. 50, 49. So let's have a look here. So you can see sentiment is changing very, very quickly. A week ago, 47, 30, 49, last month, 72. So we now know that sentiment is changing very, very, very quickly. But there is one other indicator that I want to share with you guys today, because I think that this is the most important indicator. I think that you'll agree with me that the most important indicator in crypto is how much stablecoin there is to buy tokens. If there's a lot of stablecoins sitting on the sideline, that means the stablecoin is ready to buy tokens. If there's no stablecoin, it means there's no buying power. So this is the indicator that I spoke to you guys about, that I think is the one indicator that shows me that we may not have as much time to prepare for the bull run as we want. We may not have as much time to prepare for the bull run. I thought we would have like 30 days or 20 days to prepare for the bull run, but maybe that's not the case. And I'll show you this in a second. Let me show you. Let me show you this indicator. So this is the stablecoin supply ratio. What this stablecoin supply ratio is, it is effectively the Bitcoin market cap versus the stablecoin market cap. So you take the market cap of Bitcoin and you divide it by the number of stablecoins in the market. If the number is low, then stablecoins have more buying power. In other words, there is more stablecoins relative to Bitcoin in the market. If the number is high, there's more Bitcoin relative to stablecoins. Now, the more stablecoins relative to Bitcoin, the more buying power there is. The more buying power there is, the more people need to spend the buying power, the money, the USDT. So think about it as if you take the total value of Bitcoin and you divide it by the total value of stablecoins. Now, if that number is high, then there's too much Bitcoin on the market. If the number is low, there's too many stablecoins in the market. So we want a low number, because a low number means there are more stablecoins in the market to be able to buy Bitcoin. And so let's look where the number is. This is the biggest indicator. Look at what happens when there's highs. When there's highs, the price goes down. Again, here's a high here, the price went down. Here's a high here, the price went down. Here's a low, price goes up. Here's a low, price goes up. High, high, high. Look at where we are now. We're getting another low. We're on the way down to another low. So the stable coin supply ratio relative to Bitcoin is actually right now, for us, it's low, but for us, that's extremely bullish. Because that means that there's a lot of money on the market relative to Bitcoin. And if there is a lot of money on the market relative to Bitcoin, then if we want to make money, what we need to do is try and work out where that money is going to go. So if you know where the money is going to go, if you can speculate, if you can have a thesis as to where this money is going to go, then you'll make life-changing money. Because remember what happens in an alt season. In an alt season, people put more money onto the market. So an alt season is an extension of a bull run. First Bitcoin runs, then altcoins run. First Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then large cap altcoins, then small cap altcoins. That's what happens in a bull run. So if there is a high stable coin supply ratio, typically people would first buy Bitcoin. When Bitcoin has had its gains, then the people will shift that money and put the money into altcoins. That's the cycle. So if we can speculate where this money is going to go, we're going to say, okay, some of the money is definitely going to go into Bitcoin. There's no doubt about it. Let's quickly have a look and look at what the ratios happen. But some of the money will definitely go into Bitcoin. Great. We're we like the fact that money is going into Bitcoin, but we're not going to make life-changing money on Bitcoin. We're going to make life-changing money accumulating Bitcoin, but you're not going to, you may make life-changing money in Bitcoin, but you're not going to make wife-changing money in Bitcoin. You'll make life-changing money, but not wife-changing money. And, there's a big difference. So if you want to make life-changing money, put your money into Bitcoin. If you want to make wife-changing money, then that's a completely different game. So let's look at where we can make wife-changing money. And to understand where we can make wife-changing money, what we need to do is we need to speculate where is the money going to go? And we need to understand where the money is going to go before anyone else picks it up. Because I often see people talking about tokens after they've run. Go back, go look at all the YouTube channels. There are a lot of people that are going to talk about tokens after they have run. There's no point in talking about tokens after they've gone run. You need to have a thesis. You need to back your thesis up with knowledge and data, and then you need to invest in that thesis. And then you need to look for the signs that your thesis is actually playing out. And then if your thesis is playing out, you stay invested in your trade. And if your thesis isn't playing out, you got to ask yourself some tough questions as to whether you should reverse the transaction or the position, because you may have a wrong thesis. So we have a thesis, and even I make a thesis, and sometimes my thesis is the wrong one. You make a thesis based on data, based on knowledge, based on fundamentals. Then what you do is you invest in the thesis and you monitor it. It's like a patient. A doctor looks at a patient, he has a thesis, he medicates, and then what he does is he watches to see if the patient improves. He watches to see the vital signs. It's the same thing with investing. You have a thesis, you invest in the thesis, and then what you do is you keep evaluating or monitoring your thesis. So the thesis right now is that there's too many stable coins on the market. If there's too many stable coins in the market, I'm looking for two things to evaluate my thesis. One is Bitcoin starting to go up? For that, I look at the Bitcoin chart, and I see that in the last hour, as Sheldon said, Bitcoin just broke a trend. So Bitcoin, let's quickly go into the hourly chart so that you can see what's going on here. There we go. So you got the hourly chart over there. And what you can see is that in the last couple of hours, Bitcoin has gone from 46,000 and it's now pushing 48,000. It looks like the thesis is playing out. Money is going to go into Bitcoin. I bet you that Bitcoin dominance just went up a little bit. We can quickly go test it. Let's test the thesis. Let's quickly test the thesis. Bitcoin dominance. I reckon Bitcoin dominance went up to 41.7. Let's have a look. So Bitcoin dominance is at 41.63. The thesis is playing out exactly as I anticipated. Why? Because what's going on? There's too many stable coins on the market. If there's too many stable coins in the market, first those stable coins are going to flow into Bitcoin. People are going to have enough of the returns of Bitcoin because they know it's not wife-changing money, and then they're going to put the money into altcoins. So the first part of our thesis is right. Too many stable coins in the market. That's that big indicator that shows a recovery, and the money is going to go into Bitcoin. We keep watching the heartbeat of the patient. We keep watching to see if the Bitcoin price is going up. If the Bitcoin price continues to go up and the Bitcoin dominance continues to go up and Bitcoin dominance touches 41.8, 42, 42.5, and the price of Bitcoin is not coming down, the patient's vital signs are healthy. It's like the blood pressure is healthy and the patient has no fever. Good. We're medicating this patient correctly. Everything's working according to plan. Now, let's move beyond that. How can we turn the patient into an athlete? Well, now we've got to see where the money is flowing. So you've got to understand the flow of money. Where is the money flowing? Where is the smart money flowing? You've got to ask yourself a lot of questions. And on Monday, I will show you an analytical tool that shows you where the smart money, I'm just trying to get access to it. And on Monday, I will give you a trial of this analytical tool where you can see, you'll be able to see where the smart money, where all the smart whale addresses are actually putting their money, specifically into which tokens. So I'm going to teach you how to use that tool. Then Now I want to show you also where the smart money is putting their money right now. The thesis so far, we're going to keep checking in with this patient every 10, 15 minutes. We're going to send the nurse in. She's going to check the Bitcoin price. She's going to check the Bitcoin dominance. She's going to check the vital signs. And we're going to make sure that our thesis is playing out. When the Bitcoin dominance starts to come down, it means that the money is going to start flowing into other protocols. Now, we know we've had a layer one mania. We had Solana running. We had Cardano running. Cardano ran first. Solana ran. Fantom ran. Moon River ran. All these fast layer ones started to run. I think that the layer one frenzy is over. I think that you can still make money in layer ones, but I think the frenzy, the Solana going from, I don't know, let's quickly look at the Solana chart, but it went from like $30 to like $150. I can see Freddie is degenerating into something here. Yeah, from $20 to $200. Yeah, but where did it come from?
It came from like 40s.
Yeah, let's look at the numbers here. So I think that this narrative is now finished. I think that the layer one narrative, I think that Solana, as you can see from August, was at $40 or $32, and it went up to $200. And if I look at Fantom, let's look at Fantom quickly. You can see Fantom went from 28 cents and it went all the way up to, it's kind of like Solana, exactly the same. So what I'm saying is I think that the layer one narrative of people putting money into layer ones is going to continue. But again, you'll make life-changing money, not wife-changing money. You'll make some money, but you won't make a lot of money. You need to have 50% of your money in the layer one narratives. We gave you guys our favorite layer ones yesterday, AVAX, Solana, Fantom, even FTX, we call it layer one. But that's your stable money. That's not where you're going to make wife-changing money. To make wife-changing money, you need to go into slightly riskier territories, but you also need to have a thesis or a narrative. So now, where is the money flowing to? I know for sure, mathematics tells me that the money is not flowing into, let's have a look here. The money is not flowing into NFTs anymore. NFTs look like the money's, like it's kind of died. Look at the NFT, the weekly NFT sales by category. Look at the money flowing out of NFTs. As the money flowed out of NFTs, the money went into layer ones. The degens came from NFTs to layer ones. Remember when we asked Alex Becker, where do you put your money? He said stable coins and other coins. Fred said he's putting his money into Ethereum and other layer ones. He also put money into Dogecoin degen. You see, so the money from NFTs, as you can see, because there was a decline in NFTs, went into layer ones. But now, layer ones have stopped. You can't make life-changing money in layer one protocols unless you're willing to hold for long periods of time. So you ask yourself, where is the money flowing? Where is the money going to? And I might be wrong, but I have a thesis. So I'm going to invest behind the thesis, and then I'm going to keep checking the heartbeat of the patient. Keep checking heartbeat of the patient. If my thesis is right, then I'm going to double down and triple down. I'm going to test the thesis. My thesis is as follows. Money is not going into NFTs. Money is not going into layer ones. Where's the money going? The clue for me is this. It looks like the money is going back into DeFi. The money is going back into DeFi. Now, Fred's saying, look, you really should talk about Solana. Okay, let's just talk about Solana for 1 second. Yes, I know. Solana went down yesterday. We spoke about this. It's unacceptable for a layer one blockchain to be going down, but all layer one blockchains have at some point collapsed. All layer one blockchains have crashed. It happens. We're in startup technology here. We're in the startup. And it's not acceptable, but the market shook off this entire Solana ecosystem. The price of Solana is still at $160. And this is after the network crashed for half a day. Now, a lot of people weighed in on this crash. So Willie Woo says, I think most chains have experienced breakdowns in their first years of being out there in production, undergoing real-world battle testing, Bitcoin included. Some people have forgotten those events. In the early days, even Bitcoin went down. Now, the reason why the market's not panicking is because you actually want a chain to go down. You want a chain to get attacked. Because every time that an attack is successful and every time a chain goes down, the developers fix the problem. And eventually the chain becomes bulletproof. It's a natural evolution of battle testing something in the real world environment versus testing it on paper. It's the same thing that happened with the Cardano smart contracts where there was a problem and they fixed it. And now we've got Cardano smart contracts working perfectly well. Gavin Wood, he says the events of today in crypto just go to show that genuine decentralization and well-designed security make a far more valuable proposition than big TPS numbers coming from an exclusive and closed set of servers. So he's talking about Solana not being as decentralized as it should be. And I also think that when Polkadot goes live and when Kusama eventually has all the parachains working on it, there will be technical issues. And the market hasn't punished Solana for it because they know that it's just temporary and it will be fixed. So anyway, back to our thesis. Our thesis is that the money's gone out of NFTs. It's gone out of layer ones, and the money's now going into DeFi. I saw this yesterday, and this guy, Smokey McDonald's Hosada, I don't know who he is. Let's just see who is he. Okay, let's follow him. So he's quite smart. Let's follow him. He's smart. He says here, DeFi blue chips with an impressive recovery since yesterday's lows. And he picked this up very, very quickly. And he saw that if you look at when the market went down to when the market went up, the DeFi blue chips jumped. So I think that this is sushi. Sushi up from a low to a high, from to 1280 to 28% from a low to a high. Then you've got Aave or Compound. So Compound token also from a low of 360 to a high of 428. You can see that the recovery is happening much quicker in DeFi. And so the thesis for me is that the money is now starting to flow in DeFi. Starting to flow into DeFi. Where into DeFi? Because it's okay, money is going to DeFi, but where into DeFi? On what chain? Which protocols? Because that will show me where I need to be buying. Okay, so what do? I go to a few sources. The first source that I go to is CryptoRank. And CryptoRank published the top 10 DEXs by TVL growth. So what they're looking at now, remember the DEX is the entry point into DeFi. The first layer of DeFi is the DEX. You remember that when Ethereum started, the layer that grew the most was the DEXs, the decentralized exchanges, because they're the gateway into DeFi. So Uniswap exploded, SushiSwap exploded. Where did the most total value locked go into? In the last 7 days. And you've got to look at it on a small time frame, because if you look at it on a big time frame, it means that people have beaten you to it. You got to try and get the heartbeat quickly. So Solana, the biggest change in terms of total value locked is Saber. Second one into Orca, which is again a DEX on Solana. Osmosis. You can see that there's been some growth in Tezos. So Quippus swap. Pangolin, which is an Avalanche, has now got 329 million total value swap locked. Terra, 30%. Karura, which is a DeFi play on Kusama, 30% increase. If you take one look at this, you get a narrative. The narrative is that DeFi is exploding, but not all DeFi. There's no DeFi on Ethereum here. Do you see any DeFi on Ethereum on this? I don't see any. Fred, do you see any DeFi on Ethereum here?
I don't see any.
Maybe Sheldon does, because Sheldon keeps saying Ethereum. Let's see if he does. I caught him. Are you buying a car, bro?
Brian, you can customize a Lamborghini, bro. I'm like having so much fun. If this Golden Cross keeps playing out, then just looking. What is it? Sorry, what do you need?
Keep buying Lamborghinis. Okay, so what we're seeing here, guys, is it's a DeFi narrative, and it's a DeFi narrative which is not on Ethereum. It's a DeFi narrative which is happening on a few other chains. Solana, Osmosis, Karura is Kusama, Avalanche, Terra. The winner in terms of where the DeFi narrative is about to explode, or maybe has just exploded, is Solana. You can see the up and coming is Avalanche. So what do you do with this information? You've got to verify your thesis. What do? Very simple. You take the protocols that you think that you may want to invest in, like Pangolin, which is a DEX on Avalanche, like Trader Joe, which is a DEX on Avalanche. And you can see that in the last week, 40% and 26% grew in terms of total value locked. And you want to see if that trend is continuing, if your thesis is right. Where do you get the information from? Simple. You go to DeFi Llama. That's DeFi Llama. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to use this. Exactly how to use this. You go to DeFi Llama, you press enter. You arrive there, it tells you there's $183 billion in terms of total value locked. And you go to the 7-day change and you click it. And you start seeing which are the fastest growing DeFi protocols, but they must have real total value locked. So if a protocol grows quickly, but it's only got 182,000 in total value locked, ignore it, it's garbage. Okay, look at the bigger ones that are actually growing. So let me take you there. Okay, who's growing? Sunny, up 117% in the last 7 days to a total value locked of $3 billion. Saber, 3.69. Orca, $240 million total value locked. Osmosis, 424 total value locked. So what you are doing is you are watching the total value locked on these DeFi protocols every single day. And you see, you take the ones that you like. Now, the ones that I'm looking at, to be honest with you guys, I'm starting to look at projects because I don't have enough exposure to Avalanche projects. I don't have enough exposure to Terra, so TerraSwap. I don't have enough exposure to things like Pangolin and Trader Joe. I don't have enough exposure to those. There's Symmetry. Symmetry, you'll see that there's a DEX that's launching on Solana called Symmetry. There's Aldrin DEX. I told you guys about it. I'm looking at those ones because I don't have enough exposure on those. And I'm verifying my assumption like a doctor. I'm verifying my assumption by by looking at the vital signs. And for me, the vital signs are, does the total value locked continue to increase? Is the money that's invested into these protocols continuing to increase? And if you want to see it by protocol, it's so simple. All you do is you click on the protocol, you click on 7-day change, and you can see which are the fastest growing protocols in each one of these ecosystems. And you place your bets by dollar cost averaging into these protocols. And then you just sit back and you chill. And by the end of the old season, you have yourself wife-changing money. It's simple.
Yo, sorry, buddy. Can I show you one more thing here quickly? Just on the DeFi. So I've managed to find the DeFi index, and the DeFi index has hit a golden cross at just about a day and a half ago. So it is a really good indication for DeFi. You
see, I didn't even need a chart to tell you that. I didn't even look at the charts, and I came up with this whole thesis. I didn't even look at the charts, and the chart just reaffirmed the thesis.
Got you.
Brother, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so that is it. So simple. You want to make life-changing money? Have a thesis. Keep verifying your thesis. Look for the signs. Be smart enough to back out if your thesis isn't playing out, to change the thesis. But if it is playing out, it means that your thesis is right. My thesis is right. And it means that you should keep doubling down and keep doubling down and keep doubling down until something changes. Maybe your wife will change. Maybe your life will change. Something will change. Maybe your bank balance will change. Maybe your car will change. Something will change. Maybe your house will change. Who knows? Something will change. Always. Because change is the only constant. Alrighty, let's give away. So, Johnny, no, why are you doing that? I heard Johnny, if you've got CoinPanel, then I'm giving you a year's free subscription of CoinPanel. And Danilo, if you, yes, say RIN. That's the one I said. I said RIN, Aldrin, RIN. I said it. Don't buy it, because I haven't finished buying my position yet. Do not buy this token. Do not front run me. Do not buy this token. I've told you guys about it. Bavesh, you get yourself, if you've got a Bybit account with our referral link, you get yourself 1,000. Fuck it, you get yourself 3,000 if you've got one of those accounts right now with our referral link. Then you get yourself, what did I say, 5,000 or 3,000. Okay, quickly, I've got some super chats. Is Cardstarter a good buy today? Yes, absolutely. I said on the earlier show, it's cheap, it's good. Ran the man. Chris, you're the man, bro. Daniel, thank you. Cool. So that's it for today. I will see you guys again. I won't see you guys again at all tomorrow because it's a religious day for me. I will see you guys again on Friday. I'll see you guys again on Friday for the morning show with Sheldon. And we're not going to have a banter on Friday. We'll have a second charting show on Friday. Yeah, so lots happening, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow. So, Fred, I think you should do the show tomorrow. Okay, Fred's going to do the show tomorrow. Fred's doing the show tomorrow. It's all about Dogecoin and XRP and which one is a better buy.
Going Shibu.
Shibu. Okay, Fred said he's going Shibu. All right, guys. Love you guys madly. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Friday. Please look after yourselves. Please look after Sheldon. Please look after Fred. Please look after the entire Banter family. See you guys again on Friday. Until then, trade well, my friends. My intuition on these boys, man. I didn't even look at
Lamborghini.
What's the story? Are you buying a Lambo, or you just?
I'm just looking like it's like maybe.
How much is a Lambo in dollars?
Like 500,000, 400,000. Depends how much you custom it. Like it's so cool.
$500,000 for it.
That's like 12 Bitcoin.
It's like 10
It's only if there's if
Bitcoin,
history
bro.
repeats and we get the golden cross and we get a 600% on Bitcoin and 30,000% on the alts, then it's possible.
Or if this coin goes 100x, which